Intermittent fasting has gained a lot of popularity over the last few years. What are the benefits of doing intermittent fasting? Anti-aging effect, where it makes us feel young and also look young. Who should not do intermittent fasting? There are 4 different types of intermittent fasting. What is it? And is it beneficial? Are there any side effects? What is the science behind this? Let us explore all this in this video. Intermittent fasting is either a time-restricted eating or switching between fasting and eating the normal meals. You need to figure out how this will work for you based on your time schedule of work, social activities, your workouts and other sport activities, whatever you might have. Because it is important that you get this right. One, you want to get maximum out of intermittent fasting, and equally you don't want to put yourself at risk of having problems with nutrition. There are 4 different types of intermittent fasting. The most popular one is the time restricted method, where basically you have a 16-hour window where you do not eat. So for example, if you eat at 10 a.m., then you can finish your last meal by 6 p.m. So in that 8-hour window, you will be, of course, eating in a healthy manner. And the other 16 hours, you will not be eating anything, but you can have water or certain drinks with 0 calories. For example, a cup of black coffee or tea without milk. So some people choose a slightly different option of a 14-hour fast. For example, you eat at 10 a.m. and then the last meal will be done by 7 p.m. So the idea is that once it gets a little bit dark, then you stop eating and consuming more calories. The second one is where you have in a week, so 2 days in a week, you do not have high amount of food. So you're restricting the calories in those 2 days. So let's take, for example, Tuesday and Thursday, you are severely restricting your calories to between 500 to 1000 calories in a day. So you're mainly consuming foods that have got high amount of fiber and protein so that it keeps you full, and also it kind of minimizes the number of calories you're taking. Third one is alternate day fasting. So every alternate day, you're cutting down the meal size or the calories by 25% or more. And the other days, you eat your normal amount of calories. And lastly, 24-hour fasting. So once a week for 24 hours, you do not eat anything. So for example, breakfast to next day breakfast or lunch to next day lunch. You may have heard of the ex-Prime Minister Rishi Sunak in UK, who does this 24-hour fasting, because some people feel that it gives them a lot of discipline and health benefit, but this is quite a tough version of intermittent fasting. It's not for everyone, because some people get very irritable, feel very tired and feel a bit dehydrated. So this is not the most popular method of intermittent fasting. Whatever method you are choosing in these 4, the important thing to remember is that on the days when you're having normal food, you should be eating in a healthy manner. It doesn't mean that on the days when you eat normal diet, you start taking a lot of junk and foods that have got high amount of fat or grease. What are the benefits of doing intermittent fasting? There are various studies that has shown a variety of benefits from intermittent fasting. Firstly, this thing called insulin sensitivity. So basically, when we fast, our insulin levels goes down. If we are eating repeatedly and consuming a lot of food, our insulin levels increases. So this increase in the insulin levels starts to promote what we call as insulin resistance in our body and fat storage, and that leads to a whole variety of problems. So by doing intermittent fasting or a time-restricted diet, you are basically reducing the surge of this insulin release, and thereby it balances the blood sugars in our body. So if you're already a diabetic, it can help regulate your blood sugars better, or if you're a pre-diabetic, you might even reverse the chances of developing diabetes. Secondly, weight loss. This is where it has gained a lot of popularity all over the social media platforms. By restricting the calories that goes in and also restricting the number of hours you're eating, you are actually consuming less amount of food. So by avoiding eating late at night or snacking at random times, you're consuming less calories, and thereby it promotes weight loss. Its effect on the heart health. It reduces the chances of developing blood pressure, high cholesterol, triglycerides. These are all the risk factor for heart disease. Intermittent fasting has been shown to be beneficial in terms of our brain health, because fasting can actually trigger the release of certain hormones that can help improve production of the nerve cells. In various animal studies, there has been some evidence to show that it can reduce the chances of developing certain neurological conditions like stroke, Parkinson's, and this dementia, what we call as Alzheimer's dementia, which is a condition where our memory gets severely affected. It can reduce inflammation in our body. Fasting can cause a process called autophagy, whereby there are certain cells which our body is trying to clear and recycle. So this, what we call as a repair mechanism, helps reduce inflammation in the body and also improves our immune system. There is also certain studies linking reduction in cancer risk. Obviously, being overweight and obese is a risk factor for various cancers. So by intermittent fasting, if you were to lose weight, that can reduce your risk of certain cancers. Lastly, anti-aging effect, where it makes us feel young and also look young. So intermittent fasting has got a lot of effect on the cells, tissues, and our genetic material, whereby there is a lot of changes that is happening because of a reduction in the insulin levels, which helps us to burn fat better. There is increase in this certain hormones called growth hormone levels, which can help improve our cell function, reduce the fat, and also improve our overall immune system. So there is various change in the parameters that happens, and this can kind of give that overall improvement of looking younger. Are there any side effects of doing intermittent fasting? Well, in the initial stage, you might experience certain unpleasant effects like feeling a bit lightheaded or dizzy, feeling like you're a bit dehydrated, tired, irritable, mood swings, headaches. This kind of symptoms, we expect it to settle within a few days. If it is persisting or getting worse, you should not just carry on doing the fasting. You should take an opinion from your doctor. Who should not do intermittent fasting? If you have chronic medical conditions like chronic liver disease, chronic kidney disease, or you have chronic heart issues, you should take opinion from your doctor before venturing into this. If you are pregnant or breastfeeding, it is not advisable to restrict calories. If it is a teenager or a child, we do not advise intermittent fasting. If you are a diabetic who is on insulin and your sugars are not very well controlled or unstable, then you should not venture into intermittent fasting. If you have any other health issues that you might be concerned, then you should take an opinion from your doctor. And lastly, if you suffer from eating disorder like anorexia or bulimia, then intermittent fasting is not a good idea.